hypertonic solution, whereby through osmosis the cell will lose water and then it comes from turgidity to flaccidity. Thank you. The third illustration saying that, or the third illustration to prove that osmosis is from lowly concentrated region to a highly concentrated region through a semi-permeable membrane, but not from high to lower. The third one is this. We are going to elaborate it with the use of a diagram also. The use of a diagram. Things are true. And this sketch are true. A lowly concentrated region to a highly concentrated region to a semi-permeable membrane is the use of this diagram. This diagram explains how water moves from the environment through the underground to the plant through the roots or parts of the plant. Water moves the concentration of the cells up inside the root hair cell. Listen, concentration of the cells up inside the root hair cell is hypertonic to the concentration outside the root hair cells, that is underground, is hypotonic. So through osmosis, water will be moving from outside from the environment, that is underground, to the root hair cell through the epidermis of root hair, through the epidermis or through the cell membrane, that is semi-permeable, that will enter the root hair cells. Then once it enters the root hair cell, it now will get transported to all parts of the plant, from the root through the stem to the leaves of a plant. I'm going to explain about it as an essay of 20 marks, whereby it's very suitable for the students to explain how water moves, or the absorption of water and mineral salts from the ground underground, that is from the soil, to all parts of the plant body. I'm going to elaborate it a bit in this. Now we have the three elaborations or three explanations indicating the reasons why people argue. Some books argue that, of which there's true, they argue that osmosis is from a lowly concentrated region to a highly concentrated region through a semi-permeable membrane, but not from a highly concentrated region to a lowly concentrated region. Number one, we talked about a hypertonic solution. The cell is immersed inside the solution, and the cell will lose water because of hypertonic solution immersed on it. Where the cell is immersed in, another elaboration, we talked about hypotonic solution. The cells is immersed in a hypotonic solution. That means the cells up inside the cell is hyper as compared to outside the cell, which is hypo. Then it will absorb a lot of water, leading to rigidity. The third elaboration elaborated by saying that the plant absorption of water from the soil is through osmosis. The soil is hypo, that is soil underground is hypo. The root hair cells in the root hair are hyper as compared to the entire surrounding, that is the soil surrounding, that is hypo solution. The water will move from hypo to hyper. Then the absorption will take place. Water will move from the root hair cell to the root, through the stem, to the leaf, to all parts of the body cell. What is the function of water to the body of a plant? We said about turgidity, the replacement of the loss through transpiration. We said about its help in photosynthesis, etc. Let's continue. We have the categories of plants. Not all teachers normally teach this. The plants is categorized into two broad categories. That is, we have lower plants, and higher plants. We have lower plants and higher plants. Lower plants, e.g. mosses, they're very tiny and they have large surface area to volume ratio. That it means that the higher percentage of their body are in contact with the soil surrounding them. Hence, they acquire transport through osmosis. Osmosis. They acquire transport through what we call osmosis. Osmosis process. Whereby because the cells are inside the muscles, these cells inside this lower organism are hypertonic, have hypertonic solution, than the surrounding. Hence, osmosis, they will acquire water from the underground through osmosis. Why? Because they are very tiny, the large percentage of their body are in contact with the soil, so that they have large surface area to volume ratio. Hence, acquiring transportation through what? Through osmosis. They acquire nutrients through osmosis. They acquire water through osmosis, and etc. for the proper functioning of the body. Then we have higher plants such as trees. Higher plants such as trees, they also acquire water and mineral salts are acquired through the ground, from the ground, through the root hair cells, to the roots, through the xylems of the root, through the stem, to the xylems of the leaves, and every part of the plant body will reach, water will reach every part of the plant body. I'm going to explain about it. Then higher plants, they have low surface area to volume ratio. Not now the opposite of large is they have small surface area to volume ratio. Since that the large percentage of them are not underground. From the stem, only the root is underground. So they have low surface area to volume ratio in that they have proper or complex transport system. E.g. proper or complex transport system, e.g. xylem, vessels, or phloem vessels. Phloem. These are called phloem, and xylem is called, one word for this is vascular bundles. Vascular bundles. Now, under plants, we have two categories of plants. Most of the teachers don't talk about them, but in real sense, we have two categories of plants. That you have lower plants and higher plants. Under lower plants, e.g. mosses, they are very tiny underground. Most of their body parts, that is the high percentage of body parts, are inside are contact to the surrounding, that is the soil. These tiny things. So they have large surface area to volume ratio. That means that most of the body are contact to the environment. So they acquire transportation through osmosis. Water is absorbed from outside the environment, inside themselves, inside the organism or the cells, inside those tiny organisms through osmosis, due to hypertonic solution inside the organism as compared to hypotonic solution outside the soil. That is the water from outside the soil, the organism. Hypo to hyper, that is osmosis. We have higher plants such as trees. They have complex and proper transport system called vascular bundles. Vascular bundles is composed of two transportation systems, that is xylem vessel and phloem vessel. Under xylem vessel, xylem is responsible for transportation of water from the root of a plant through the stem to all parts of the plant. We say that all parts of the plant, all cells in different parts of the plant, they have xylem. That means you have xylem in the root, xylem in the stem, xylem in the leaves. Every part of a plant, you have xylem. Numerous number of xylem. Responsible for transportation of water and mineral salt all parts of the plant. We have phloem. Phloem is found in a higher plant, which is responsible for translocation. Translocation, that means they transport the dissolved food from the leaf to all parts of the plant cell for proper growth and functioning. We continue from that. So xylem and phloem are under vascular bundles. Phloem responsible for transportation of dissolved fruit from the leaf to all parts of the plant, while xylem transportation of water and minerals from the the root of a plant to all parts of the plant. After that, we are going to discuss about. Thank you. We are going to discuss about how water is absorbed from the root of a plant to all parts of the plant. That is the essay of 20 marks. Essay of 20 marks. I am sure that you've understood something about it, so that this one will just flow about it. Absorption of water. Absorption of water. Water from the root. From the environment. From the environment to the plant, or from the root of a plant to all parts of the plant. This is say of 20 marks. These are settable questions and they're very, very settable, sensitive area. So we start by this. I can do it as sketch. I can sketch it. Sketch it for proper understanding of how water is transported from the root or parts of the plant. Absorption of water from the root to all parts of the plant. Summary about absorption of water by a plant from the soil to all parts of the body of the plant. So the environment, the water from the environment is absorbed by root hair cells through osmosis. Why? Because outside inside the soil, it's hypotonic as compared to inside the sensor of the root hair cell, which is hypotonic solution. Remember, from hypotonic solution to the hypertonic solution of the root hair. Here, when the water molecules will reach the root hair cells, the root hair cells will the solution, the concentration will lower the concentration, because the pure water hypo will dissolve or will mix up with the hyper, so that the rate will be lower as compared to the entire part of the plant cells. So due to this, still osmosis will take place. Osmosis will take place whereby root hair cells which is having now lower concentration, that is hypotonic solution, to the entire cell. The entire cell, which is xylem vessel inside the root of a plant, will absorb water through osmosis from root hair cells. Get me right? Now, when it absorbs the water from the root hair cells, it will reach the xylem of the root through epidermis. Then water will be moved upward through the osmotic pressure, what we call osmotic pressure, through the stem to the leaf to all parts of the plant cells. Then the transpiration, when it reaches here, some metabolic activities will take place. Then after the water is used from the root through the stem to all parts of the plant, then there will be transpiration will take place. Transpiration is the loss of water through the water vapor from the leaves of a plant to the atmosphere. So the continuous process will take place. As the root will absorb water, it will transport to all parts of the body through the xylem tissues. Then when it will reach here, through transpiration, water will be eliminated from the plant. Then the process will continue. Okay. Thank you for watching till the end. So I might add, so that if you don't understand something here, you inbox me, comment down section below, and leave my number there, or somebody can write it 0718 740 417 for proper elaboration. I repeat, 0718 740 417 for proper elaboration. Thank you.